So start in a seated position. Center of head aligns over center of pelvis. And we'll connect to our Ujjayi breath. Feel the weight of the arms and the shoulder blades, able to just drape atop the ribs, and then feel your ribs lungs and breath moving under this shoulder arm drape. We'll just take a few breaths to just focus on the feeling of the weight of the arms, riding the ribs all the way down on exhale. It's a practice of releasing the weight of the arms. We'll be working in alternate nostril breathing. So, if you need to switch the cross of your legs, do so now. And we'll take on an increasing pattern of inhale and hold. Okay. So we'll start with a 5 in, 5 hold, 5 out. We'll treat 2 breaths as a single round. And we'll increase it to 6. 6 in, 6 hold, 6 out. We'll keep increasing it by 1 count. So continue 7, 7, 7. And we'll go for a bit You'll just pause with the count that's working for you, that's interesting to you. At this point, you might be at 9 or 10 or 11 count. You can either go to 15 or just kind of hang with the counting structure. That's non-strainful, interesting, and we'll just be at it for a few more moments. Just one or two more rounds. And then just as a kind of a sidebar, I think there will be moments, times where we can linearly increase breath count. And I also think it's unrealistic to have an expectation of always linear progressing, altering our biological states. That kind of always evenly increasing progress will often happen when we're just getting started or getting learning, but I think it's much more realistic to experience a little plateau, taking a step back, hanging out, deepening the relaxation response, the softening response, deepening the holds, plateauing, taking a step back, taking a step forward, taking a step back. I think those little waves of back and forth are much more realistic. Okay. All right, so let's get seated in a left over right half lotus. Have with you any straps you like for grabbing a hold. Inhale with the feet active. The foot bones spread, the rib bones spread. Exhale, turn to your left. And we'll work with the chin basically over the sternum. When we inhale, we'll unwind just a little bit. We'll keep hold of that left foot with our left hand. So we straighten the right leg out. If you need a little extra prop under that knee, just insert a little blanket or inhaling, raise the right arm toward the sky, and with the arm goes the ribs. And exhale, hinge, fold forward. Maybe the right hand grabs a hold of the foot. Wow. Breathe behind this left chest muscle, this pec, as if breath is kind of fanning and spreading that pec open from the inside. And as that pec releases, the head of that left shoulder can slide and drift back, back. Also gliding that shoulder blade, that arm bone down. That's the left side. So that as you're releasing the head, the neck forward, you may feel a little stretch through some of those kind of more upper trap neck muscles. And release. All right. We'll switch sides, but as we're switching sides, I want to show you something. It's kind of a little prop PSA. Okay. So I'll often try to show you this here. So this would have been hooked onto my foot. You can get pretty clever with the way that you're using the prop, right? So I can think of a few ways that we can grab onto our strap or prop. One is kind of like the grasp, the clutching one's, to clutch one's handbag, so to speak. It's where you just kind of make a fist and hope it doesn't pop out, so you grab tighter and tighter. And then there's kind of this C-hook. It's like a micro grasp. You're still kind of hooking with the hand. And then I want to show you one other. I hope, peek here, make sure it's visible. There we go. And one is I can open up my hand and fan open the hand bones. And just like flanging that open, I get an entirely different activity through the flexors, extensors of the arm. And why I'm showing this is if you ever have a shoulder or elbow issue, it may really help to just play with some different. So just in that opening of my hand, I can get a very different elbow shoulder movement. So I just want to break that out a little bit, so we're not beholden to just grasp and pray, hope it stays in my hand. We can get really, really intelligent about the hand as being part of the shoulder. All right, we're right over left. Inhaling, feeling the breath gently send the sit bones down, and telescoping the ribs up. And then exhale, we'll turn to our right. Sometimes I'll be working with golfers or climbers, and those different grips are useful when we need to work in and work through some of the forearm bicep, forearm elbow connection. And maybe we'll take a deeper dive on the parts of the hand and the parts of the shoulder and how they reflect and express and talk to each other. That would be probably a good thing for us to do sometime. All right, inhale, we'll slightly unwind. Let's maintain a connection to that right foot as we straighten out the left leg. Get a little prop under that right thigh if needed. And take another breath to further open up the ribs, reaching that left arm up. And then exhale, fold. From this half lotus position, sometimes that straight leg, in this case the left, we'll want to kind of roll, roll to the left, rotate. So involve that inner leg. You get a free massage in that quad. The ankle bones get right in there, just so. So notice that the right hand, as it's holding onto the prop or the foot, notice if as you're pulling, can that right shoulder, the humerus, can it glide back? And in this way, we inhale into the right side of the chest and feel that pec softening and expanding, letting that arm travel into the space behind us. Kind of opening up our front side as we move into space. And we'll release. Inhale, we'll unwind, unhook, unprop, uncross, unbend, and we'll lie back. We're going to do elbow to knee. Inhale, float the head, shoulders off the ground. The back spreads in the ground. That's a function of breath and skillful soft muscle control, but mostly breath. Curl tailbone. Exhale, left leg reaches out. Fan open apart those foot bones, and then draw the low belly in and down. Inhale, bend left knee. Curl tailbone. Exhale, right leg reach out. Pull low belly down. All right, inhale. Let's keep going. Let's do about 4 more per side. Get a little peek here. There you go. And as we do a lot of the same moves, are you getting different response? Are you getting a different read than yesterday, than last year, than last month? Is the tool helping you reveal, uncover, listen, and know? All right. We're going to do gate opener. It's a 2-part abdominal. Have a prop, your roll or your block. And we'll use it between the legs, and we'll reach the legs up. The pubic disc, the joint, and the front center of your pelvis. Oops. So one of the things that I notice, okay, is when we're using the prop, when we go legs apart, we can use that prop to, one, we could move the halves of the pelvis. We can create subtle amounts of pressure one side of that joint or the other side of the joint. We could use the prop as we're pressing to just simply increase our interoception, our sense of, oh, there's a joint, there's the bones. I just wanted to say that because sometimes people will kind of lift the prop away from their pubic bone. I think there's a lot of benefit in using the prop on that pubic disc. Right. Inhale into the low belly and the low back. And squeeze the prop, curling the tailbone. Feel how the whole front side kind of gathers up. Now exhale the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. And pull low belly down. All right, let's go left hand to prop. Inhale, separate the legs. And if you're pressing that prop against the pubic bones, the pubic disc, feel how the legs separating apart. How that helps you understand and feel that joint. As you exhale, reach out through the legs. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bring the legs together. We'll set the head down for a moment. And squeeze the prop. Exhaling, curl tailbone, float head, shoulders off ground. Pull low belly down. Hand to prop. I'm alternating the hands. Inhale, separate the legs apart. Using the prop to help you sense and feel those. It works if your prop's not too wide. That's why the roll is really good for this. Exhale, curling tailbone. Reaching out through the legs. Pull low belly down. Inhale, gather the legs up, vertical. Let's go like this. Squeeze the thing. Curl tailbone, exhale the head, shoulders off the ground. Pull low belly down. All right, now we're going to lie the head down. Inhale, separate the legs apart. I'm going to presume your prop can get to those pubic bones, pubic disc. We'll leave the head down. Take both your hands to the prop. And as you exhale, reach the legs away from the prop. And you can manipulate that prop against the left side or the right side or straight on. Pull low belly down. We're going to leave the head down, the legs apart. We'll just take a few more breath rounds. Inhale, relaxing the tailbone down. And then exhale, reaching out through the legs. Pull low belly down. Two more. Last two. Sometimes we can get a lot more relief in our sacrum and our back by going to the pubic disc. It's a super, super cool joint. All right. And when we're through, we're through. We'll set that off to the side. And let's prepare for dolphin. Actually, let's prepare for slightly different version of dolphin. If you have two blocks, set them up shoulder or your elbow distance, so that when you place your elbows on the block, that feels, if you have those foam blocks, they feel nice and soft. And we'll clasp the hands with the elbows up on the block. In this way, as we back up our knees, just a little behind the hips, and I start to shift back, I get a little more of my tricep on the surface. So we're going to take this approach first, a dolphin prelude, but our elbows are elevated. And when we release by shifting our weight forward, now let's move the blocks aside, elbows under shoulders, and now we will set up dolphin. Got the hands either clasped or forearms parallel. And then exhale, the knees off the ground. Release. Inhale, slide the hands under shoulders. Exhale, we'll press directly back into downward dog. There we are. I feel that the head and the neck relax. And the hands, as they play into the ground, there's that torsion and engagement and the winding up. Feel how the hands influence the shoulders, the shoulder blades to move apart. All right, triangle. Inhale, right foot forward. So drawing the right hand up to the leg or to a block. Exhaling, raising the left arm to the sky. Interesting. I want to draw our attention into two places. So one is that pubic disc again. So it's occurring to me. If you're involving the legs, to reach the heel, to involve the inner legs, feel and notice if you're clenching or compressing this pubic disc area. There you go. Isn't it nicer when it's free? And now as you're reaching the arms out, feel for those pecs, getting a little bit of that softening, fanning. There you go. There it is. That's it. All right, bend the right knee, and we're setting up for lounge lunge. So we'll set the left knee down and the left hand down. For me, I have to wiggle my stance open a little bit more. Okay. That left hand is propped, so we can drape the left side of the ribs down toward the wrist. If you're using the right hand, or right arm rather, on the thigh, there'll be varying amounts of angle, and finessing that rib side stretch. I think it's really important that we're breathing into and exploring the front side of the ribs, the side of the ribs, the back of the ribs. And inhale, unwind. Hands under shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga. We'll step that right foot back. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, triangle. So as we're establishing the legs and the connection to the ground, tailbone, buttock, right? So I use my buttock to guide the tailbone in a way that frees up the low back. And then again, I'll just draw our attention to that pubic disc. How we're involving the muscles of the pelvis. Is it pushing in on that pubic disc? Can that area feel free? Even if the butt muscles are working, can that disc experience some freedom? There you go. Yes. I hope that that registers for you. And then that pec, both sides of the pec, chest. As you're reaching out through the arms, feel the pecs softening. And as they soften, the arm bones really moving out a little further. So the chest wall pec is directly connected, structurally connected to the arm bone. Lounge lunge. Inhale, bending the left knee. Placing the right knee down, the right hand down. Adjust the right foot position. And as you're exhaling, propping on that right hand, let the ribs drape down toward the wrist. And inhale, unwind. Hands under shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Feel the arms moving broadly apart. Right? You can feel the broadness around the top of the rib cage. Exhale, downward dog. Straighten the arms. Not locking them, but full use, full reach. Bright, bright lines of energy through those arm lines. All right, we're going to play a little half moon. Why not? Inhale the right foot forward. Grab a block or more. Heck, grab a wall if you want. And we'll take the left heel hip height. All right, quarter moon. So we draw the heel toward the buttock. Left hand, reach for left foot. We're going to get breath moving from the pubic disc to the pec. Pubic disc to the pec. Getting breath washing through that entire front side of body. Release. Inhale, let that left foot down. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale, please select upward dog or stay with cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Here we go, half moon. Quarter moon. Draw the right heel toward the buttock. Right hand to grab. See how you can feel how you can reach that pubic disc with your breath. There you go. Now release. Inhale, we'll let right foot down, hands down to ground. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Here we go. Exhaling, downward dog. Take your time. Aha. Deep breaths. We'll take 3 final breaths into that entire shoulder girdle. Under the blades. So reach vibrantly with the arms. All of that musculature, tissue, connective tissue. Reach, 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 reach. And let the legs tension draw the ribs back. And then breathing under that canvas of rib and skin and shoulder. Intercostal sternum. set, knees down. When we have a seat, we're going to visit Tolasana before we wrap it up. So I'm going to set up into either a full lotus. So that's where my foot's on a thigh and my other foot's on a thigh. If that's not going to work for your knees, half lotus is a perfectly fine way to do it. It may mean that my foot or my leg stays dangling or touching the ground. That's perfectly fine. And this could even be done in cross-legged. Okay. But if full lotus, you just kind of softly place foot on thigh, foot on thigh. Now with the hands under the shoulders, I'm going to press on exhale. The butt comes up. And then you can draw the thighs toward the ribs. After about 5 or 6 breaths, we'll release to make sure we can do the other side. Okay. So even if you have one leg on one thigh, if you're pressing, if you're getting some of that lift off, there's this wonderful traction through the ribs, the spine, as the weight of the legs kind of pull and draw the pelvis away from the ribs. It can be wonderful on the shoulders too. All right, so we switch sides, and here goes Tolasana, part 2. On exhale, press, butt lifts, and draw the thighs toward the abdomen, toward the ribs. And after about 5 or 6 breaths, release. Once you uncross and unwind, let's lie back. We'll take Shavasana. I just want to use 2 points that we've used today just to guide and bridge our breath through our body. And so we used the pec, the chest wall, the front of the heart, either side of the sternum. And as we breathe into the pec area, volitionally softening over the front of the heart. Feel the arm bones just releasing down toward the ground. And we use the pubic disc. The front of the pelvis, center, might just, with your breath, inquire, does this disc area, does it breathe? Is it subject to breath's influence? And then simultaneously breathing into the pubic disc area and the chest muscles. What if these two areas softened and expanded? When you're ready, bend knees, turn to a side, and press to seated. Namaste.